How did a small corner shop in Manila that started with just $6,000 rise to challenge McDonald's and win? That humble beginnings grew into Jollibee, a fast food powerhouse now taking on KFC, Popeyes and Chick-fil-A, changing the game in ways no one expected. Today's story is about how the smallest spark in fast food turned into a storm big enough to shake the entire industry. The giants came with deep pockets, global influence, and every advantage on their side. Yet, the one chain they overlooked is now the one rewriting their rules. The story begins in 1975 with Tony Tan Kak Tiong, the son of an immigrant who opened up a small ice cream parlor in Quezon City. Back then, the food industry in the Philippines was wide open. There were no golden arches, no giant burger chains, but Tony saw something no one else did. Filipinos didn't just want ice cream, they enjoyed hot meals, flavors they grew up with, flavors that felt like home. So, he started experimenting. Burgers with a sweet twist, gravy-drenched chicken, and spaghetti loaded with hot dogs and cheese. By 1978, the parlor had transformed into Jollibee, a full fast food restaurant with one mission: to give Filipinos the taste they couldn't find anywhere else. 3 years later, McDonald's entered the country. Everyone assumed the American giant would crush the local competitor. Instead, Jollibee studied everything McDonald's did and then flipped the playbook. Because if McDonald's sold the world's most famous burger, Jollibee would make something the world didn't know it needed. The battle for taste had begun. When McDonald's came to the Philippines, they had a simple plan: copy its winning formula. Same menu, same flavors, same playbook that worked everywhere else. However, what worked in America didn't always translate to success in Manila. The burgers tasted flat compared to local food, and the fried chicken lacked the punch of Filipino cooking. Jollibee leaned into what made it different. Its burgers had a hint of sweetness, its spaghetti came with a red sauce loaded with ground meat, sliced hot dogs, and shredded cheese. And then there was Chicken Joy, the chain's signature fried chicken. Crispy on the outside, juicy on the inside, served with a rich brown gravy that people would line up for. By the mid-1980s, Chicken Joy had become a household name. Jollibee wasn't competing with McDonald's on price or speed. It was winning on taste by creating food that spoke to the culture. Families preferred the warm, home-style flavors over the uniform taste of American fast food. The focus on flavor paid off. By 1988, Jollibee controlled nearly 60% of the Philippine fast food market, minimizing McDonald's share. The local chain's early success didn't just come from its menu, it came from understanding the Filipino palate better than any foreign brand ever could. In just over a decade, Jollibee grew from a small shop into the country's dominant fast food player, forcing even global giants to rethink their approach. McDonald's started adapting its menu, adding rice meals and even spaghetti. But by then, Jollibee had already cemented itself as the country's go-to comfort food. It wasn't a question of who would dominate the market. The question was how far Jollibee could go. Food may have put Jollibee on the map, but emotion turned it into a cultural icon. In a country where meals are often seen as moments of connection, Jollibee leaned into storytelling rather than just selling burgers and spaghetti. While global fast food giants like McDonald's focused on speed, efficiency, and promotions, Jollibee built its brand around real-life emotions, turning everyday moments into stories people could see themselves in. The Kwentong Jollibee series, launched in 2016 for Valentine's Day, changed the advertising landscape in the Philippines. These short films, usually just 3 to 5 minutes long, weren't about products or prices. They were mini-stories about love, family sacrifice, and hope. Universal themes told through a Filipino lens. Stories like Crush, Vow, and Date went viral. They became conversation starters, shared millions of times online, and even made some viewers cry.
No!
The impact was immediate and powerful. Sales spiked, brand loyalty deepened, and the campaign won international awards, proving that Jollibee wasn't just selling food, it was selling feelings, memories, and identity. The mascot, a giant smiling bee, was crafted to represent hard work, optimism, and community. It became a fixture at birthdays, school events, and family celebrations. Children grew up with it. Parents trusted it. This emotional connection gave the company an edge no competitor could match. It wasn't just about selling food anymore, it was about creating loyalty that lasted for life. By the time global chains attempted to replicate this approach, Jollibee had already established a bond so strong that it transformed casual customers into passionate advocates. And that loyalty, it was about to fuel Jollibee's boldest move yet, stepping onto the global stage. By the 1990s, they've done the unthinkable, defeating McDonald's at home and building the foundation for something bigger, a global expansion. Competing outside the Philippines was a different challenge. In the US, fast food chains were everywhere. In Asia, KFC ruled the fried chicken market, and in Europe, food preferences were as diverse as the cultures themselves. Jollibee's answer was precise. Instead of rushing into every country, the company studied migration patterns and cultural gaps, choosing where its flavors would find a natural foothold. The first major test came in 1998 with the opening of a branch in Daly City, California, a city with one of the largest Filipino communities in the United States. The response was immediate and overwhelming lines wrapped around the block. Families drove for hours to taste Chicken Joy again. And while the early wave was driven by nostalgia, curiosity soon took over. Non-Filipino customers started trying the food, discovering flavors unlike anything offered by the usual burger and fried chicken chains. This early success shaped Jollibee's global strategy. Instead of waging a direct war with the big American players, the company planted its first flags in cities where loyalty was already built in: Los Angeles, Toronto, Dubai, and London. These locations served as gateways, attracting the Filipino diaspora while gradually converting new fans. By the time competitors noticed, Jollibee had carved out a niche so unique that no other brand could replicate it. Expansion wasn't limited to new branches, acquisitions became part of the plan. In 2018, Jollibee bought the American burger chain, Smashburger, adding hundreds of locations to its portfolio. Soon after, it acquired the Coffee Bean and Tea Leaf, securing a strong presence in the global coffee market. By 2024, Jollibee invested over $300 million to take control of Compose Coffee in South Korea, a bold move to tap into Asia's booming coffee culture. Each acquisition was a calculated strike, adding new strengths to an empire built on strategy. Today, Jollibee operates more than 1,600 stores across 17 countries, and with every opening, it's proving something the fast food giants forgot: culture and taste can beat scale and money if you play the game right. Breaking into the US fast food market was once seen as impossible. Fried chicken was dominated by KFC, Popeyes, and Chick-fil-A, brands with decades of history. But Jollibee found its way in, not by copying them, but by standing out. Chicken Joy led the charge. Early reviews and viral YouTube taste tests turned it from a curiosity into a sensation. Each store opening drew massive lines, sometimes wrapping around entire blocks. By 2024, Jollibee had more than 70 locations across North America, from Los Angeles to New York, with many selling out within hours of launch. The tipping point came in 2025 when USA Today named Chicken Joy the best fast food fried chicken in America. The headline sparked a flood of taste tests and national coverage, cementing Jollibee's place in the US food scene. Yet, the menu was just as important as the chicken. Sweet-style spaghetti, palabok, and halo desserts gave Americans something they didn't expect from fast food: flavors that felt entirely new. Social media kept the buzz alive as first-timers posted their reactions and turned Jollibee into a trending topic. From a small local chain to a major presence in the US, it's grown into one of the most talked-about names in fast food. Every store opening draws massive crowds and headlines, showing just how quickly its influence is becoming impossible to ignore. Jollibee's next challenge is to scale and expand its reach without losing the identity that made it iconic. In 2024, the company reported system-wide sales of around $4.7 billion and a net income exceeding $200 million. Its market capitalization is now valued at roughly $4.4 billion, and revenue continues to rise year after year. The goal is, by 2028, its plan is to triple its net income and secure a place among the top 5 global restaurant companies. To achieve this, the group is targeting aggressive international growth, building on its 10,000-store global network while introducing new brands and acquiring strategic assets. Technology is becoming part of its DNA. Stores are being fully digitized for faster service, AI-driven delivery systems are being rolled out, and supply chains are designed to handle rapid expansion without sacrificing quality. Viral marketing campaigns and partnerships with influencers are helping Jollibee carve a modern, recognizable presence in cities like New York, London, and Sydney, places where loyalty to Western fast food has long been entrenched. The challenge is no longer survival or recognition. It's about becoming a global leader while staying true to the flavors and culture that Filipinos have carried with pride for decades. The next decade will determine whether this beloved brand can rise from a national hero to an international titan. From a street ice cream shop to a rising global force, Jollibee has proven that hearts can challenge empires. Its next chapter could redefine the future of fast food. The only question now is, how far can the bee fly?